is my Mac. Okay, this window is my Mac. This window is a Linux machine which is sitting. Actually, it is sitting on the East Coast while I am on the West Coast. I don't have a good example of an India machine, primarily because the meeting moved to 3 o'clock and my CTO, who's in India, has gone to sleep. So I can't use his machine. So I'm using an East Coast machine just as a placeholder, right? These two windows therefore represent two different geographical regions, and I'm going to explain what I'll be doing and then how it actually works out. So I have out here just the Linux kernel, which I've cloned on my Mac, and I have cloned in this Linux machine. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what compilation actually looks like without Crave, and then I'll show you what it looks like with Crave. So without Crave, you typically compile the Linux kernel by saying make def config and then make -j, some large number, let's call it 16, right? With Crave, you surround this with quotes, and at the beginning, you write Crave run. That's pretty much it. I'm going to add one flag out here, which is clean, just for the sake of running an absolutely clean build. And I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to do the same thing in the Linux machine. And I'm going to start both of them at the same time. Okay, here's it starting on Mac, here's it starting on Linux, and I'll explain what's happening as it happens. Okay, so the first thing that Crave does is it looks at what I have cloned. It finds out that it is Linux. It finds out if there are any local changes, takes what it finds as locally cloned plus any modifications and ships it off to a remote build server, which has been configured to handle Linux kernel compilations. And once it is set up everything on the remote end, it then starts off the compilation. And as the compilation is happening, it streams back the results. This is happening in both locations out here as well as out here. Both of them are running pretty much at max speed. And there's no CPU usage on my Mac or even on the Linux machine. It's all happening on the remote end, right? This Linux kernel compilation, which typically takes anywhere between, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, depending upon the sort of machine that you're throwing at it, is most likely going to complete in, say, about 1 minute to 1 minute 30 seconds. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
1 minute, 1 second. Okay. And 55 seconds on this side. Remember that I did not necessarily say that it has to be make. I basically am, if you think about it, this is almost like saying SSH into some machine and run an arbitrary command. You can say make def config, you can say sleep 100, you can say rm-rf, whatever, and Crave will run it. If you want it to actually do other languages, other tools, sure, say Crave run, let's say you're using Gradle, right? Because Android applications require Gradle. You say make Crave run Gradle w build, it'll do Gradle w build.